Light is Britain's far-right conspiracy theory paper spreading hate and vicious lies. No, that's what the BBC say. The Light is the only national newspaper bringing you the real news and informed opinion on what's really going on today. You can subscribe, order copies, submit articles, and read back issues on our website, thelightpaper.co.uk, and see for yourself why the establishment are so worried about the uncensored truth getting out to people every month. The Light Paper. Not far right, just right so far. thelightpaper.co.uk.
Scene script. Have you ever pondered the idea of financial independence and early retirement? The notion of not having to clock in at 9 or wrestle with the daily grind? Imagine a life where you're not shackled by financial obligations or a demanding job. It's not an impossible dream, but a reality for those who embrace the FIRE movement. That's financial independence, retire early. Consider the tale of Jane, a woman in her early 30s. Jane was an ordinary person living an ordinary life. She had a 9-to-5 job, a mortgage, car payments, and a lifestyle that was comfortable but hardly extravagant. And like most people, she dreamed of a life where she didn't have to worry about money. Jane decided to make a change. She began by cutting back on non-essential expenses, saving as much of her income as possible. She invested wisely, focusing on assets that generated passive income that didn't require her to trade time for money. Slowly but surely, Jane began to build her financial independence. She was still working, but she was no longer living paycheck to paycheck. She had a safety net, a cushion that gave her the freedom to make choices based on what she wanted, not what she needed. Fast forward 10 years, Jane, now in her early 40s, had achieved her goal. She was financially independent. She had enough passive income to cover her living expenses, and she no longer needed to work to survive. She was free to retire early, to spend her time as she pleased. Jane's story may seem extraordinary, but it's not unique. It's the story of anyone who has embraced the principles of the FIRE movement. It's a tale of discipline, of sacrifice, and of a relentless pursuit of financial independence. To summarize, the key points discussed today revolve around the idea of financial independence and early retirement. It requires discipline and sacrifice, cutting back on non-essential expenses and saving as much as possible. It involves investing wisely, focusing on assets that generate passive income. But most importantly, it requires a change in mindset. It's about seeing money not as a means to buy things, but as a tool to buy freedom. It's about understanding the true value of time and the freedom that comes with not having to trade it for money. This is the essence of the FIRE movement. It's not just about retiring early, it's about achieving financial independence, about gaining the freedom to live life on your own terms. Like Jane, you too can embrace the principles of the FIRE movement and embark on a journey towards financial independence and early retirement. After all, the only thing standing between you and your financial freedom is you.
Ever wondered how much you'd need to save to achieve financial independence? The answer lies within the mathematics of a concept known as FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The most essential number in your journey to financial independence is calculated by multiplying your annual spend by 25. Notice the emphasis on annual spend, not annual income. This calculation is based on the principle that you need £300 invested for every pound you wish to spend each month in passive income. Hence, your FIRE number is also your monthly spend times 300. This mathematical principle is founded on the 4% safe withdrawal rate, as defined by financial advisor William Bengen. He proposed this rate after analyzing the S&P 500, which typically produces an average of better than 10% growth per year when studied over a period of approximately 30 years. Bengen considered factors such as inflation and market volatility. After studying previous market activity, he concluded that a 4% rate of withdrawal per year would provide for a 30-year sustainable portfolio in the vast majority of cases. So to paint a clearer picture, if your monthly spend is £1,000, then your target for financial independence is 300 times 1,000, or £300,000. Alternatively, if your annual spend is £12,000, your financial independence target is 25 times 12,000, which also equates to £300,000. The first step in planning your financial independence, therefore, lies in understanding your monthly and yearly expenditure. Without this knowledge, it is impossible to take further strides towards your financial freedom. In summary, the mathematics of FIRE revolves around the principle of multiplying your annual spend by 25 or your monthly spend by 300 based on the 4% safe withdrawal rate. Knowing your monthly and annual spend is crucial in determining the amount you need to save to achieve financial independence. Armed with this knowledge, you can then plan your journey towards financial freedom. Remember, the journey to financial independence is not a sprint, but a marathon. Embrace the mathematics of FIRE and take the first step towards your financial independence today.
Good morning, guys. Apologies for the little delay there. The time is 9:39 on Tuesday, the 26th of August 2025, and that means we have completed 3 years and 21 weeks of what will be roughly an 8-year FIRE journey, FIRE experiment. The position as things stand at present, current market value £90.59. The portfolio itself currently worth 26,800. Just to say the market is down roughly 0.25% today. As things stand, and we've got 296 shares in the portfolio with an average purchase price of 71.74. As you can see there, although the market is showing a low point for the day's trading so far, the market hasn't been open for all that long, an hour and a half or so. In terms of the 52-week range, the current purchase price is on the high side of where it has been. Let's have a look at notifications. First off, Monday the 1st of September, an official holiday in the United States and Canada, Labor Day. So Canadian and US markets will be closed for trading. That's actually not going to affect the S&P 500 as shown on the London Stock Exchange, because London will be open for trading. Rocket Lab up 8.1% on 70th Electron mission and US semiconductor grant. Biggest stocks before earnings: KE Holdings, PDD Holdings, Bank of Montreal, Bank of Nova Scotia, and I think that's Heiko. PDD jumps 2% after Q2 revenue beats estimates despite tariff and shipping headwinds. JDE Peets jumps 17% on news of €15.7 billion all-cash buyout deal with Keurig Dr. Pepper. I'm not going to pretend to know what those companies are. I really don't. I have no idea whether that Dr. Pepper is the same Dr. Pepper as the fizzy drink. Maybe not. And then, as you can see, that brings us to 6 days ago. Was our last live stream, and the purchase price at that time was $89.96. So, guys, with that done, before we go ahead with this week's investment, let me just draw your attention to Monzo.
I want a bank that makes money easy.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
And you are?
We're a bank called Monzo.
I want a bank that shows me what I spend instantly.
No problem, just give us a go. See?
Can you make splitting bills easy?
Super easy, check this out.
But it's a real faff to sign up.
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Race you.
You're on.
Can I talk to a real person 24/7?
Of course.
Even now?
Yep.
Even now?
Anytime.
Can you tell me when I'm running a little low on cash?
We certainly can.
Cool. Can I afford these?
You certainly can't, sorry. Can't afford that either.
That's a real shame.
Not really. Time's up, how'd you get on?
It's a draw.
Can you help me save for my next holiday?
Oh, how about you set up a savings pot in the Monzo app called Barbados, baby?
Thanks for listening, Monzo.
We're all ears.
We can go now.
Rude. You make Monzo Monzo.
Okay, my apologies, I was a little slow on the transition there. But nevertheless, as you were able to see, there's a Monzo affiliate link in the description for the video. There's also one for Smarty Mobile, both companies that I use and am very happy with to date. So let's go ahead and do this week's weekly investment. If you watch the channel regularly, you'll know that each week I invest 120 theoretical pounds in the S&P 500 exchange traded fund, seen here on the Vanguard practice platform. So at today's current market value, that's going to buy us roughly 1.3 shares. And I was just actually noting mentally as I was saying that £120, the current market value is at £90. It's not going to be an awful long time until £120 is only going to buy us one share, or maybe even slightly less, although that's not an issue on trading 212 because fractional shares are purchasable, certainly for most stocks. Let's go ahead and review the order. So it's a market buy, the market is open, and no commission. Let's see how that goes. So we got 1.32 shares for a purchase price of £90.61. It looks as if the figures have updated. I remember in the past that used to be a little bit of a sticking point. Things didn't always update immediately, but it looks as if they have here. So the new portfolio value just under 27,000, so 26,946, and current return on investment sitting at 26%. And as I say, that's after only 3 years and 21 weeks of taking part in this fire experiment. So average purchase price is basically the average price since we started this. So no surprise given the market growth, that average purchase price remains as low as 71.82, which is that lower green bar there. Interestingly enough, actually, whenever Donald Trump's tariffs announcements were made, causing that shoot that you see on screen, that roughly brought the price down to around about our average purchase price. Certainly as it stands now, it might have been slightly lower then, I'm not sure. You would have to look back to the videos from around about February, March, to be able to see that for sure. I have mentioned umpteen times this V-shaped recovery. I think it's probably time to remove these circles if I can select them. There's been enough discussion about that. So those are gone, but the V-shaped recovery is still very evident there on the screen. So that is pretty much it for this week. And as I say, I do this every week. Not easy to say exactly when it's going to be each week, but normally I try to trade within a day or two of the last week's broadcast. So today being Tuesday, hard to say when it'll be next week, but if you keep an eye out, you should see the notification whenever I go live, particularly if you're subscribed to the channel. And if you particularly liked this episode, why not give it a thumbs up? So as I say, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next week with more, and in the meantime, have a great end to your Tuesday. Bye for now.